Hey, this is Carissa Miller, and this is Lula Pottery for your ears. These are audio essays on pottery, wrapped in existentialism, lyrical, meticulously organized brain dumps, deeply personal, hopefully relatable, and 1,000 other blurbs just to say I'm recording my view of life through pottery for your consideration. I have every word written down. I think this is my most natural form. It is for sure my most comfortable. Every word carefully chosen and placed. It might sound as though I'm talking to you casually, but I'm not. Every important conversation, confrontation, or presentation I've ever had has been scripted. I found out recently it's an autistic thing, but I've known for a long while that this is better for everyone. If you've ever experienced me while all the things I want to say are trying to come out at the same time, all while a continuous track of "shut up, no one wants to hear this, and you're not making any sense" plays over my stream of consciousness, you can vouch. I am better with editing. Or on the phone. I'm quite good on the phone. Less sensory input, eyeballs, facial expressions, that sort of thing. This is my introduction recording. If you're here from Instagram or from running into me out in the world, you will know I hacked my way into being a potter. I do not have formal education or training. I am self-taught. That doesn't mean I made up how to do pottery. Everything I've learned the last 6.5 years is by way of extreme self-driven study to teach myself with a level of speed and intensity not bordering on, but actually within the definition of obsession. And I do not say that flippantly. Obsession plays a pretty difficult role in my life. It's only sometimes I can make it do good. My pottery origin story feels a little overtold to me by now. I'm no longer a new potter, but as I'm new to the space, I've copied and pasted part of my Instagram introduction post to get me started. It was inside the turmoil of the 2016 election, after I had devastated my mental and physical health, contriving every fiber of my being toward stopping that fucking guy's rise to power. I sought refuge in videos of cute animals and pottery montages, desperate for respite from the battering ram of news cycles. At some point, not specifically noted for posterity, it occurred to me I could do the pottery instead of watch the pottery. And similar to how I decided 3 days ago that maybe I would look into making a YouTube channel, and now I'm recording this podcast, I decided to become a potter. I have been a quasi-semi-expert at a lot of things. Ballet, body piercing, floral arranging, customs brokerage, writing. I'm 45 years old, so some of those things were more than half my life ago. I'll let you guess which ones. I study all major purchases and personal use items. When I was expecting my first child, I could have told you anything you wanted to know about every kind of diaper. I also have a delightful habit of studying for vacation. The history, geography, culture, and language. Before a family trip, I call mandatory educational meetings. The homeschool curriculum I put together for my kids from scratch when the pandemic hit was exquisite. We studied each subject within the lens of the bioregion in which we live, Cascadia. We listened to Robin Wall Kimmerer's book, Moss. We gathered specimens. We sketched. We used a microscope. Autistics know well that there are good pants and bad pants. the right spoon and the I will go hungry rather than use that spoon. And we understand the upending of all order when makers discontinue our style of shoe and we don't have a backup pair, or when they stop making our particular scent of deodorant and we have to start all over. Oh, it is terribly funny, but also terribly serious. Along those lines, I have always had a mug. It is my mug, and it is very personal. Each one has been the only one, and unlike clothing items, which I do buy in multiples, I have only ever had one mug at a time. This was the rule before I made pottery, and still is. I make the rules, but it doesn't always feel that way. The idea that I could make a mug that met every one of my exact criteria was very exciting. So I sketched a mug. And then I designed a studio and researched all the equipment and supplies, all before I touched the clay. It was my husband who suggested I look into whether I could make the clay do what I wanted it to before we started construction on my out-of-the-blue new ultimate lifelong career I'd always been looking for. With a mug to make and no skills, I signed up for a community center class in the fall of 2017. Shout out to Multnomah Arts Center, and apologies again to my instructor for refusing to follow any instruction or begin at the beginning with hand building. My smartass ignored everyone and everything and sat at the wheel with a pile of 1-pound balls of clay and threw and smashed cylinders according to Simon Leach's YouTube instructions until I could do it backward and inside out. I ordered a wheel a week later and set it up in the laundry room. Started an Instagram pottery account. By the following late spring, the studio was finished, and about a year from touching clay at the community center, I started selling pots. So easy. In this autistic life of mine, some things that are hard for others come easily to me. And most of what is easy for others comes hard or not at all for me. Examples. I run into walls a lot, not just metaphorically. I have poor proprioception or awareness of my body in space, ballet notwithstanding. I can't tell what kind of face I'm making. I grip a faucet handle like I'm trying to rip it out of the counter. I can't drink from a glass without dribbling liquid down my front. And interoception, or discerning internal cues, I'm either wide awake or I've never been more tired in my life, not even thinking about food or near fainting from hunger, and I'm your friend you always have to pull over for so she can go to the bathroom. Yes, I know I just peed. I don't play well with others. I don't do subtext or small talk. I have 3 close friends and I love them with scary exuberance. I have a hard time making myself take a shower. The grocery store is overstimulating and my whole day can be ruined by ill-fitting pants. Autistic traits are human traits, with the sensitivity setting on overload to the point it disrupts our ability to exist in the same world as those who can stand the sound of another person chewing or carry on a conversation while there is music playing. The Princess in The Princess and the Pea, autistic. I also happen to have the trait where I am able to learn and get good at something I'm interested in very fast. I'm not bragging. I'm not complaining. Just explaining. I take issue with the definition of hack in part. Verb-related hacking describes whacking away at something with hard, sharp blows. To hack it means to be able to, and one can hack or break into a computer system. Noun-wise, one who breaks into a computer system is a hacker. And a hack, here is the problem I have, is someone who produces dull, unoriginal work. I use the word hack to describe myself as someone who whacks at learning things and can break into them. Hacker just doesn't feel right. And there are also definitions of hack concerning falconry, horsemanship, and cheesemaking. On this platform, I am moved to write and read on such concepts as skill versus talent, foundations of good design, choosing direction, honest self-assessment, everything autistic, of course, the multitude of components that make a single artist an entire business, cycles of time, effort and compensation, approaches to study, practice. I invite you to listen and think along while you're in your own creative space, out walking or doing laundry, and to help guide my ruminations by contributing your thoughts and comments about what you've heard here and what you'd like to hear here. Thank you for being here. The next piece I'm writing to record is called What Makes Me a Good Potter? I can't or shouldn't claim to know what it will take for you to do it or whether you've got it, but I have a pretty good idea why it's working for me. See how I spun that? And now, the hard thing for me to say, but the easy thing for you to do, please click the subscribe button. Unloading my brain and building community are rewarding, most certainly, but pottery is my full-time job, and I intend to try and turn some of my efforts into dollars. Thank you for being here. Let's do this again.